Welcome to Power Play right here on Times Now, where I've got our panel of experts who want to decide and have a contest between themselves. That's what we were just discussing before we came on air. 20 seconds before we came on air, Shane Bourne sitting right next to me said we should allow us to make our picks ahead of games, and at the end of the World Cup, we should see who's got the most right. And the answer to him was, when the big teams start playing, we start doing the picks then. No point picking a winner between Australia and Zimbabwe because the conclusion is foregone. But before we get chatting with them, here's a quick look at what happened at that match at the Motera Stadium in Ahmedabad. Here are the big moments of that game, one-sided affair between Australia and Zimbabwe. If the start was anything to go by, then the defending champs were clearly patchy. The fall of the first wicket opened the Watson floodgates.
Very good shot, what a way to get to 50.
While Ponting was unimpressive, Deputy Clark shone with the bat.
46th one-day international 50 for Michael Clark.
A late surge, eventually giving Australia a comfortable score to defend. The Aussie pace battery then took over, demolishing the Zimbabwe top order. Tate, Lee and Johnson sharing the honours.
Got him, got it straight to the man at slip, a really good catch.
Any scope of a revival evaporated with Captain Chigumbura's dismissal.
It's a big blow, that partnership comes to an end.
As Australia announced their arrival in the Cricket World Cup 2011 with a resounding win. Sports Bureau, Times Now.
Mitchell Johnson has done the trick. Australia have won this game.
Full, fast and at steering pace. Shane Bourne, would you have done the same thing, just like what the likes of Sean Tate, Brett Lee did and Mitchell Johnson did against Zimbabwe?
Yeah, it's the strength of the Australian team. They've got a lot of very good fast bowlers, and the thing is, even if the wicket's slow, if you're fast through the air and you get reverse swing, you can take wickets, and that's what they did.
So that perhaps could be the mantra for Australia once again. Obviously, talking about Sean Tate, as he said, his Yorkers that were coming in. Deadly weapon. It's looking like Australia's going to make use of that a little more.
Yeah, well, they've got three bowlers who bowl 90 miles an hour. On their day, they can travel around the park, but the big thing about them, if they get it right, they can take wickets and they can knock teams over as well.
Well, Mitchell Johnson ending Barry with 4 wickets in the game, but then this was one of the days when his swinging action, he could land the ball right, isn't it?
I think he felt that he probably wasn't under a lot of pressure in terms of running up and bowling. He hasn't got Sehwag or Tendulkar at the other end. When he got that sort of pressure, it makes just a little bit of difference and a little bit of tightening of the arm, and they just start to spray a little bit. So I think I was impressed with Australia. It was clinical, but there was a few concerns with the batting. I think they were very slow in the beginning. I couldn't work it out the first 20 overs. They didn't take the bowlers on at all, and that's a bit of a concern. But the bowling was good, I think.
It was really the start of the game for all of us that made it very interesting. We didn't know which way the match was going. We were hoping that Zimbabwe would just come back and bounce back. And Graham, you perhaps will be the best person to answer this one about the way Zimbabwe actually showed great, the way they came out and went after the Aussies, saying like, listen, you're just another team for us, we're not afraid of you.
Yeah, as Zimbabwe back their spinners and they have to bowl them. I mean, they've got no other pace attack whatsoever, so it sort of caused Australia's bluff a bit. I think their openers were just sat there waiting for a bad ball that never came, and a little bit surprised that they didn't come down the wicket and just try and sort of reverse the pressure on Zimbabwe a bit.
Yeah.
Taking from where Graham said that, they perhaps, Australia looked so weak against Spain initially, what we were discussing before the game started. That is something that they have to be very careful about, given the subcontinental conditions.
Yeah, I was actually taken aback. I still can't figure it out, because the wicket that I saw is a normal Indian wicket. There's nothing that was untoward happening on the wicket. So I am quite amazed at their approach. Maybe it was the first game, maybe they're just feeling their way in. But 260, even at the end when they did it, 260 I thought was gettable. I expected Australia against this attack to reach at least 300.
So you couldn't see Matthew Hayden sitting back on that.
Correct.
No way.
Matthew Hayden would have been absolutely just gone and blitzed, the spinners.
Normally, even Watson, you don't see him